She conquered the Everest. Arunima Sinha. About the lesson. She conquered the Everest. Arunima Sinha. Arunima Sinha is the first female amputee and the first Indian amputee to climb the Everest. She lost her leg but didn't lose her heart. She decided to live her life with dignity and self-respect, so that people didn't look at her with pity. Her memoirs, aptly titled Born Again on the Mountain, a story of losing everything and finding it back, was launched by PM Narendra Modi in December 2014. She was awarded the Padma Shri, the fourth highest civilian award of India, in 2015. After climbing the Everest, she decided to climb the highest peaks from each continent around the world. So far she has accomplished four-Everest in Asia, Kilimanjaro in Africa, Elbrus in Europe, and Kosciusko in Australia. She runs a non-profit school, Shahid Chandrasekhar Azad Khel Academy, for the underprivileged, physically challenged children. Arunima Sinha is a resident of a small district of Nagar, located 200 kilometers from Elbrus. Arunima's father was an engineer in the Indian Army, and her mother was a supervisor in the health department. She lost her father when she was 3, and her sister's husband then became family's head. She also has a younger brother. Arunima was a cyclist, played football and has been a national volleyball player, but she never had plans to seek a profession in the arena of sports. She hung up her boots for a while, and although she was a law graduate, she was facing the brunt of unemployment. She received suggestions from her brother-in-law, who asked her to apply to the paramilitary force in the army, so that she could stay close to her family, as well as be in touch with sports in some capacity. She didn't, however, make it despite several attempts. Desperate, she applied for a job in the Central Industrial Security Force in 2011. Though she got a call letter, they had got her birth date wrong. She made up her mind not to lose the job because of technical error. So, she set out Delhi to get this error corrected. Arunima boarded Padmavati Express for Delhi on April 12, 2011. In the train, she was harassed by some antisocial elements. It is not uncommon to have criminals aboard a train in Uttar Pradesh, and that wasn't different. Thugs tried to snatch her gold chain gifted by her mother. She put up a brave fight, and for a while it even seemed that she had the upper hand. The compartment was full of people, but no one came to the rescue of the girl being robbed and attacked. Since the thugs could not take her on at a time, each grabbed a limb and hauled her out of the moving train. She flew into an oncoming train, and the force threw her onto the opposite tracks. What happened thereafter took a matter of seconds. Before she could move her body from the tracks, a train went over her left leg. Much later, it was discovered that 49 trains had passed her by as she lay wrecked and bleeding on the tracks. Rodents feasted on her oozing wounds. She kept screaming in pain. Next morning her mangled body was sighted by some lads, who came to tail a dump. She was to be taken to the Bareilly district hospital, but the move involved so many bureaucratic hurdles. Before being taken to the hospital, in hospital, she was informed that her leg had to be amputated from below the knee, immediately to prevent gangrene from setting in. The hospital was out of anesthesia. The limb was sawed off while she was fully conscious. The media picked up her story, and soon, Arunima became a sensation. The then sports minister, Azad Makam, had her moved to AIIMS, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, so that she could receive the best treatment. The government officials wanted to save their skin, so rumors of her possibly attempting suicide began to circulate. Some even went to absurd lengths to claim she was traveling without a ticket. But this was cleared when CCTV footage of her buying the ticket surfaced, lying on the hospital bed, when she was the weakest and most vulnerable. She felt helpless to defend herself and her family against this onslaught. She said to herself, "Someday I will prove without a doubt the truth of what happened to me." Her left leg was amputated. A rod was inserted in her right leg, from the knee to the ankle, to hold the shattered bones together. She pondered on the most impossible dream she could set for herself. She decided to climb the Everest. But her decision was laughed off and met with doubts about her mental health. While most amputees require months or years to get acclimated to their prosthetic limbs, Arunima started to walk in 2 days. She understood the power of mind over body. Straight out of the hospital she went to see Bachendri, the first Indian woman to climb the Everest. Apart from her immediate family, Pal was the only person to encourage her. She told her, "Arunima, in this condition you made such a tough and difficult huge decision. Now that you have already conquered your inner Everest, now you need to climb the mountain only to show the world what you are made of." Arunima did a basic course from the Nehru Institute of Mountaineering, the best school of its kind in Asia. It also supported her with a grant. Then the Tata Steel provided her with a generous scholarship. This was followed by 18 months of rigorous training. She climbed smaller, but no less dangerous mountains, had a couple of near-death experiences and underwent mind-numbing, exhausting, spirit-crunching pain. Even normal people face harsh difficulties while launching expeditions to the Everest. For Arunima, it was more painful. The ankle and heel of her prosthetic leg would swivel, causing to lose her grip often. Any pressure on her right leg would send spasms of acute intense pain. The fourth camp, 3,500 feet to the summit, en route to the peak, is called the Death Zone, notorious for the number of lives it has claimed. She saw bodies of people lying around. She overcame pain, fear, and anxiety to reach the summit. Her oxygen was critically low, and her Sherpa warned her that she might lose her life. But she went on and on. 21st of May 2013. She reached the Everest summit. She erected the Indian flag and placed pictures of Swami Vivekananda on the summit. Then she used the last vestiges of her oxygen to take pictures and videos on the peak. She knew she was probably going to die. 50 steps later, her oxygen was finished, as she lay suffocating and gasping for breath. Luckily, she came across an extra cylinder of oxygen. Her Sherpa quickly latched it on her. Arunima said, "Climbing mountains has yielded the most valuable life lessons for me. It has taught me about confidence, resilience, team building and leadership. But above all, it has taught me the power of humility. It doesn't matter what you do in life. What matters is how these achievements make you a better person. How you treat others is at the core of what makes a good human being." End of the topic. Thank you.